No, I was thinking about just this whole concept of independence and strength, right? Independent strength, and how sometimes when a person is perceived to be so strong, they're not one that people tend to ask, do you need help? And so just that whole thing was circulating in my mind, and in a way, this is what come out of it, and it's that when I think about how women particularly gravitate, hold on to the concept or the ideal of being strong and independent, right? It's like, you know how women wear that mantra and they wear it so proudly, and sometimes I ask why, why does she, and I understand. I get it now, you feel me? And when I think about a man and his divine role and his obligation to her and to the universe, and I believe strongly that he was made and created to be a maintainer and a provider and a protector of her. And I also believe that in his ability or way of being able to carry that out, he has to be able to control her to a certain degree, right? We can't even protect our kids if we can't control them, right? So if he obligated to protect her, he has to have some level of control of her, right? But then if he got control of her, how is she free? You see, one of the reasons why she holds on to this mantra of being dependent and strong, because she's free. You see, in power comes a lot of freedom. The more power one has, the more freedom one seems to be able to exercise. We equate money to power because it does give us a certain access to freedom, right? And so when I think about, okay, money, her independence, her freedom, and if I say I love her, then she wants to exercise on a certain unlimited or a certain way of power and freedom. And how do I give her all that but control her too? How do I do that? And so this is what I was thinking, like, okay, fam, if we're going to exercise the true happiness, because if I'm living, I gotta be free. If he living, then he gotta be free. If she living, she gotta be free. So how do we exercise this freedom together and be truly happy as one, right? How do we do this? How do we do this? So what I figured out for myself is that the two people, you see, a lot of time, my mind today, and when I think about relationship, is that it has to be a natural gravitation. I want it. So sometimes I may abandon that law and that concept, but I understand that really it has to be a natural gravitation. That's the only way that when it's a natural gravitation, me and her and I and her and this, that, and other. Right? When we come together naturally, and we seem to just naturally complement each other in some way. We're not perfect, but even in that, we naturally seek certain things from each other. We naturally seek certain information and certain balances from each other. You see, when we operate in that type of chemistry, then we operate in trueness of who we are, and in operating in trueness of who you are, you then operate in freedom, right? We're both free. We're free, but I operate in discipline, under control, right? Whether we are together or not, I got to operate in discipline and control. And whether she with me or not, she operate in discipline and control. And this before we even met each other, right? So it's until I operate under a certain amount of discipline and control that I am able to operate in the same way with a woman and her vice versa. And so therefore it doesn't require any type of control for me to be able to protect her and maintain her, and vice versa. You know, I was thinking, just with that concept before I move forward, I was thinking that you see, when two people can come together on that type of unique level, when you're operating out of your real, true uniqueness, and when two people who are operating out of their true uniqueness come together and operate with such freedom, they can't be replaced. You understand? You see, he can't get a certain level of arrogance about where he stands and how he's able to provide for her now, because she's a part of the reason why he can provide, not for her, but for us the way that he does. She plays a real intricate place and position with that. So it's like you can't take her out of the picture and he maintain that. To take her out of the picture or to take him out of the picture is a real significant component that has been removed. She cannot be replaced. Why? Because she came with a uniqueness that made him what he was, and vice versa, right? This is when it get real. But I want to get further into why sometimes the strong don't ask for help. You see, there's a certain level of pride that comes with being who you are. With being, when you care about your name and the way you are seen and the way you are thought of and the way you want your name to come off people's tongue and the way you want who you are to circulate through people's minds. That's not being arrogant, but there's a certain value that is connected to that because of how, it's like stock, and anything that has value, you treat it a certain way. So if I leave this life, that is all I leave it with. And therefore my offspring, my kids, my grandkids, my wife, and so on, right? That's all they have. In truth, I may leave a bunch of material things, but in truth, that's what they have that is the most valuable, right? So now, if I care about that, and I'll carry myself a certain way, and when I ask for help, all of a sudden, for some reason, the human beings so easily forget that you was once me. You once needed help. You once needed somebody to grab you and put you in certain position. You once needed some guidance or some information. We easily forget. Just last week, you was rolling with 3 tires on a 4-wheel drive with no AC and your windows didn't let up. Didn't let down. But now, here it is a week later, and I'm just a step or two ahead of that, and I ask for your help to help me get to where you at because I done fell out, and you look at me and sound condescending? You condescending? For some reason, a human being forgets so easily because of certain ideals that we let utter out our mouth. There is no such thing as being dependent. Do you understand? God didn't create creation in the way that where he allowed anything to operate independence, because he made everything interdependence to where if you remove one single thing, it's going to shift some things off balance. And all you gotta do is look at your own human body. He made everything in creation similar to the way he created our human body. Everything needs each other, no matter how insignificant it may seem. The flies, as irritating they are, they serve a unique and significant purpose for creation. You see, God blesses creation through creation, right? Likewise, how he punishes. You see, we forget sometimes that when I needed some money for rent, and I was $500 short. And when Bob or when Sue or when Betty or when whoever called and said, I got some work, do you mind? Would I got some help. You feel like Braden, do you? I know somebody who needs somebody to come with you. You understand? Sometimes some of us will go through messes that, we shouldn't have went through, that God couldn't have called us to go do, or God couldn't have opened the door for, but we went down that path, but he allowed us not to suffer or reap to some of the penalties that come with such a decision, because he understands and he knows that he's going to allow you another opportunity to get it right. God blesses creation through creation. He gives you opportunities to do certain things. And so when we get so prideful and start getting in certain positions to say, I got here, I done that, didn't nobody help me. There's going to come a time when we're going to be allowed to eat those words, even if no one else is a witness to it. Because no one can get the glory that he deserves. And that's one thing I don't believe that the Creator is going to allow to slide. But when you ask or you wonder why, sometimes the strong don't ask for help. This is why. We don't operate in enough humility to just be at the minimum, just give someone what you wanted when you was in that position, at the minimum. To be able to give someone, see, some of us operate today in a way that, well, we'll go and ask someone to do something for us that we're not even doing for them, but could have, or could be doing. We come ask for something that we are not even doing at the minimum. Now that takes a hell of a thing. That I come ask you to help me in a way that I'm not even helping you, and I see that we doing the same damn thing. That takes a hell of a thing. But we wonder why sometimes the strong don't like to ask for help. And see, sometimes that strong is those out in the streets, the homeless. See, I believe that the ones who are really in need, they don't ask. The ones who we see on the box and on the corners and at the street lights and waiting at the store every day, if you can stand up there in that heat and out there all day asking, nah, you all right. You can go do a whole bunch of stuff. You doing okay. Because it takes a lot of energy to do that. It's the ones that don't ask that we have to look for the help. But anyway, man, I just really had that on my thought as I was preparing to move forward into my Friday and go and take care of my responsibilities and my duties and my obligations. And, just all of that, man. All of that I just shared with you. And, as always, my role and objective is to broaden the perspective, which is help us see things from a way that we might not necessarily be seeing it from. And with that we're able to move forward in a different way, in the way that we think about ourselves, the way we think about others, the way we deal with others. Because whether we realize it or not, the way we deal with others is a direct reflection on the way we see ourselves. And we are creating a type of environment and culture that's like a baby that we will have to deal with at some point in time or another. So anyway, peace and blessing, man. Y'all have a good and awesome weekend, and I pray that I was able to give you anything that was of use. Peace and blessings.